APIs that your company is consuming. To start with the proliferation of APIs, and again, I'm sure that if you have spent your Thursday coming down here, you're big believers in the API economy. But just to recap that, IBM actually made a pretty famous prediction that the API economy will be a $2.2 trillion economy within the next pretty widely. You know, one of the biggest examples of that potentially is MuleSoft being acquired last year by Salesforce for north of $6 billion. So a lot of value and a lot of traction around the API economy. APIs. So every company has those. Those are APIs, services, microservices. They have a lot of different names that are built within the organization to power a lot of the software and the services that it's providing. But then you also have partners that the company is working with. And oftentimes what we see happening is some of these APIs end up getting exposed to the partners to allow them to integrate and enhance the applications that the company is providing. Then you also have the developer community, and a lot of companies are also going about it and providing APIs for those developers to be able to innovate and create new services on top of the company's technologies. So you have some APIs going that way. And of course, and this is a part that a lot of people don't think about necessarily, but you also have a lot of public and third-party APIs that your company is consuming to develop an application. So when you think about the component sort of parts of the API strategy that companies are managing, there are 4 components to it. It would be great if the animations worked. You have the private APIs that you're building to power your internal applications. These are internal services that your company is creating that are sitting behind its web application, mobile application, and all of the services that it's providing. Some of these you then also expose to partners, and you make them public APIs. And really the point to kind of realize here is this is also a continuum. It's a continuous process where APIs are created internally, they get exposed, and then finally being made public. And most companies end up seeing APIs go through the flow. So it's not really three distinct buckets, but rather the private APIs, we've really seen them entering the mainstream over the past few years. And the data here is from a survey from 2015, so I suspect the numbers are even higher. But even back then, over 68% of organizations reported using microservices, or at least investigating using them in production. So we're seeing a huge uptake in microservices, service-oriented architecture, and of course that drives a lot of API creation. That adoption also creates a lot more APIs within those organizations. In fact, a more recent study organization. But as those APIs gets created, there isn't necessarily a good way or a good process in place for developers and teams to share those APIs, right? So we see, and this is a story or an image that we've seen with a lot of companies that we work with. Different teams produce or create APIs, but they don't have a centralized strategy and process to share them. And that yields to a lot of code and process duplication. And this is a real, very streamlined picture from a real bank that we've talked with. So one of the biggest banks here in the US, where we've discovered that almost every team had its own version of their loan offering API because they didn't know other teams have already produced them. So there's not only code duplication and effort duplication between those teams, but you also got is in a non-negligible percent of the cases, those APIs actually price loans differently. So if you go on the app and you ask for a loan and then you go on the website and you try to see what that loan would cost, you'd get different numbers. So actually hurting the developer experience as well. And what makes this API discovery even more difficult is the fact that those APIs aren't just running in one place. So it used to be pretty simple. You have your data center, all of your workloads are running there. So discovery can still be somewhat streamlined. But now what we're seeing is many companies have their data centers, they're running private clouds, public clouds, and even with Windows, you have some workloads running on Kubernetes or on serverless. You have some running on separate environments or managed task environments. So those APIs are all over the place. So to kind of sum that up, we're seeing a huge uptake in the creation of private APIs, but a big challenge around discovering and consuming them. Moving on to partner-facing APIs, we've seen over the past few years that partner-facing APIs are becoming a huge and very significant revenue sources for companies. And again, this is a 2015 Harvard Business Review survey. There are a lot more companies now where a significant chunk of the revenue is being driven by the APIs that they're exposing. And with those companies, their main product is no longer a customer-facing experience, but rather the infrastructure that they're providing that then other companies build customer experiences on top of. So this is API partnership, and obviously they're in big part fueling a huge uptake in the number of APIs that are available to developers. So close to 30,000 public APIs available to developers right now, and these are both partner-facing and fully public self-service APIs. And obviously, beyond just showing that more companies are creating APIs, we're also seeing a huge